Dear sisters, yesterday we celebrated solemnity of Ascension, Jesus ascending to heaven from where he came. And today the disciples, after journeying more than 3 years, formation. They listened so much. They saw miracles. They had a privilege to ask questions and to get directly information from Jesus. But at the end, the discourse of the Last Supper, end of the chapter 16, because in 17th chapter we have the prayer, the unity prayer, and we have the passion narrative in the gospel. So the last episode, so disciple says, now we believe. Believing is a continuous process. That's why like a formation takes time. It's not within short time. Disciples were preached by Jesus himself, but they took long time to understand the fact that God, he is a God and he came from God, came from heaven. They say that we believe that you came from God. And Jesus says, do you now believe after all this? But anyway, Jesus says, I have said these things to you that you may have peace in me. The message of the resurrected Lord is peace. Jesus always greets peace, and God wants us to be in peace, not in confusion, not in disbelief, but to trust and have a peace in Him. And Jesus also says, take heart, I have overcome the world. In another translation, we read this, take courage, easy to understand, take courage. When we are afraid, we will not have peace. We'll have tension, worry. But Jesus says, courage and peace. It's not easy because Jesus is telling, in the world we will have tribulations. Whatever the vocation it is, whoever that person is, may be rich, may not be rich, but everybody will have some or the other tribulation, some problem, some confusion. But Jesus is telling to everyone, take heart, have courage in me, and be at peace. We see in the history many people who trusted God blindly, who put their faith in God and received that internal peace and that courage to react when the whole world is against them. And such one person is Saint Joan of Arc, who lived in the 15th century, who lived only 19 years. 1412 she was born. Less than 20 years, 1431 she died. But she died with courage. When the France was going through 100 years of war, God spoke to this little girl when she was very young, around 13 years, to lead the armies of the France, to liberate France from the English troops. It was not easy for a young girl, a peasant girl from a village, but slowly she started having peace in the message which she received, the divine revelation. And she took courage and she went forward and she could conquer many battles for the French. But at the end, she was captured and she was questioned for her faith. It's not because she waged war against, but people were not believing that God spoke to her. And in the Inquisition, she was asked questions about the faith, and somehow they managed to accuse and to kill her. But as God says, take heart, be courage. I have overcome the world. God made her saint. Truth will come out. And we have a hero. And how she could do that? A little girl, how she could manage. Today we read in the first reading, Paul asking, did you receive the Holy Spirit when you believed? I believe Saint Joan of Arc is full of Holy Spirit. The Spirit led her. Only we allow ourselves to be guided by the Spirit, we can have courage to act in our life. And these days, we are preparing to receive the Holy Spirit on the Pentecost solemnity coming Sunday. Let us ask God that we receive, each one of us, this gift of Holy Spirit in our lives too, so that we might experience that peace and courage in God and to be witnesses in this world.